I mean, everybody's like, man, they know he got no chance. Tank told you a couple of days earlier, hey, you not going the distance. Y'all shake, pretty little 250, whatever the case may be. You go into that fight, you know Tank's a slow starter, builds up as the fight progresses, know he's trying to land, hook to the body, come up top with it. I thought even without the knockdown, I thought he won it. I thought he had, I mean, look, I know Tank landed punches, but
because he was aggressive.
Roach was the more aggressive fighter.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero.
Shannon Sharpe was unreserved in his criticism of Gervonta Davis for not rematching with Lamont Roach. He pointed out that the bout ought to take place, particularly because Roach should have won if the knockdown had been registered. Sharpe criticized Davis for avoiding difficult bouts, stating that it's time to quit ducking genuine challenges and give supporters the rematch they are due.
If they have a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, they have to, huh? Hey,
but look, there's enough fighters in that class. You got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Haney, you got Garcia, you got Tank, you got Roach. Come on, man, make these damn fights happen. Stop ducking and dodging each other. What the...
Press conference, and you looked at him and you said, you really should have waited. You took this fight too early. You really should have waited. That's what you told him before the fight, and then you went and put him to sleep. This cat right here, Lamont Roach, he ain't saying something like that about you, is he? He's not doing that, is he?
No, but Lamont had more experience than Roach. I mean, I'm bugging. Lamont had more skills than Frank Martin, for sure.
Okay. I got his history of sidestepping difficult rematches, many boxing fans and observers predict Gervonta Davis will probably avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach. His prior choices, such as declining a rematch with Ryan Garcia or other dangerous opponents during his career, support this viewpoint.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight, He will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
Many fans were dismayed by Davis's weak performance against Lamont Roach, leading some to question if he is still at his peak. Longtime trainer Calvin Ford's absence only served to confirm rumors that Davis struggled without his direction. Some people think Davis didn't look as good as he used to because of Ford's exit.
So Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach goes to a majority decision draw, with Tank retaining his WBA lightweight title. Now, I did not score this fight a draw. I had it 7-5 to Lamont Roach. I thought he had the ring generalship and effective pressure. He was landing the jab and effective combinations. Tank, as usual, had a very low output, and he was relying on one big shot. I gave Roach the first 3 rounds, Tank the next 3 rounds, and then Roach 4 the last 6 rounds to win the fight. Not to mention, Tank did take a knee in the middle of the fight. By rule, that should have been considered a knockdown. Yes, it was to get his mouthpiece, and that's why they didn't rule it a knockdown. But anytime a fighter takes a knee, that's a knockdown. And that would have given Roach 1 more point to win the fight. Now, I'm sure they'll run it back. I mean, Lamont Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. He just had the fight of his life. He wasn't scared to go toe-to-toe with Tank. Landing his combinations, the bigger counters, and the more effective shots. He definitely deserves a second payday. Now, in the co-main event, Gary Antoine Russell put on an amazing performance. I think he won 11 or 12 rounds against Rayo Valenzuela. Great hand speed, good combinations, masterclass to win the WBA title. And then in the featured bout, Alberto Puello beat Sandor Martin to retain his WBC title. He landed the cleaner left hands, definitely won the last 2 to 3 rounds to edge the fight. But overall, good card. I do think Roach won the fight, though.
During the battle against Lamont Roach, Tank Davis was chastised by Keyshawn Davis for lacking focus. He implied that Tank's performance may have been impacted by his mindset, not being fully in the ring. Many fans concur that his difficulties during the eagerly awaited fight were caused by distractions outside of boxing.
I feel like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, it's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing to this last fight, know, so I just feel like he just wasn't focused.
The initial fight between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach attracted a lot of attention and ended with a respectable pay-per-view PPV buy rate of 149,000. But these figures fell short of expectations, leading to discussions about the factors influencing the event's commercial performance.
So, Rick Glazer is reporting that Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach sold 149,000 pay-per-view buys. And he tweeted this report at Turkey a la Sheik. Coincidence? Truthful? Do you trust Rick Glazer's reporting on this issue? If you do, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why not. But you best believe I have a long video coming on this later today. Y'all be sure to check that out. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Prior to their first fight, Lamont Roach made sure that the contract included a clause granting him an immediate rematch, expressing his readiness and eagerness to fight again. Roach expressed his desire to fight Davis once more, but he made it clear that Davis's team will decide when to schedule the rematch.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed
Right.
for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
When asked if a rematch with Roach was possible, Gervonta Davis expressed hesitancy, saying he did not see the rematch happening this year, leaving fans and commentators to speculate about his future plans.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
Renowned boxing expert Henry Garcia had doubts about Davis's performance against Roach, pointing to the fact that Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, was not present as a possible factor. Garcia also implied that Davis may have been influenced by outside factors during the bout.
There's no way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be. And, he switched his trainer, that's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's, there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter and he's out to hurt you, but hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground, and he did a great job.
Some boxing experts have criticized Gervonta Davis for supposedly picking his opponents selectively throughout his career, claiming that in this case, Lamont Roach, who was thought to have been a carefully chosen opponent, faced unforeseen difficulties. Because of this result, there has been conjecture that Davis would decide not to rematch in order to keep his perfect record.
I think Tank been cherry picking for a long time, but I think Tank got the talent to be an all-time great. He just don't want to have a resume for whatever reason. So I think this is going to force him to go see people.
Step up a little bit.
It showed even his fans, it kind of took that allure off. Like, oh, this nigga not perfect. He can't just whoop anybody ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think Lamont should have won the fight on the technicality.
Oh.
If it wasn't a knockdown, the ref wouldn't have started counting. He started counting. He only stopped because Tank told him to stop. He told that nigga, no. I'm like, nah, stop, nigga. He was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
You take away the jabs, Tank landed more. Percentage was higher. I'm all about connection, bro. I think Tank did a better job in the fight. I gave Lamont maybe one of the early rounds. After round 6 or 7, I think Roach put in very good work and kind of matched whatever Tank was doing, or Tank matched whatever Lamont started doing. The technicality, bro, that was different though.
Davis' performance during the first altercation with Roach drew criticism, which caused his own followers to respond in an unexpected way. The stadium reverberated with jeers at Davis, expressing the disillusionment of the crowd and heightening the anticipation for a possible rematch. Superstar in boxing.
Gervonta doing this shows that it wasn't an outside strange occurrence, that it may just be a part of his DNA. For him to get hit in amateurs and then take a step back and take a knee when he obviously wasn't hurt, it just shows to me that instead of gritting it out, all right, and possibly get knocked out or taking those chances, he'd rather take a knee to disrupt the momentum and then start over. That's how I'm taking it. It can be a great strategy, or it can be the bully complex. That when you meet somebody and they're not fearing you, or they're not retreating or backing away from you, and they're showing poise and the ability to withstand your output and give some back, like any bully, they kind of unravel.
Canelo Alvarez offered his opinion on the controversy surrounding Davis's decision to kneel during the fight. He suggested that the referee's decision to ignore it was dubious, stating that such a move should have resulted in a knockout ruling.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification. For sure.
The Davis-Roach bout turned into a contentious issue in the 10th round. Davis took a knee, but the New York State Athletic Commission did not formally declare it a knockdown. Debates regarding the fight's outcome were further fueled when NY Sox later acknowledged that a technical glitch had prevented authorities from thoroughly evaluating the possible knockdown.
To override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury, which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown. All right?
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown. Because here's the thing. The fight could have gone completely differently if Gervonta was told that it was a knockdown officially. Gervonta could have then responded differently, because let the truth be known, Gervonta didn't even know it was the 12th round when it was the 12th round. He thought it was the 8th.
Forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go.
12th round. He said, damn, it's the 12th? Yeah, it's the 12th and you're down.
In response to the controversy surrounding the 9th round, John Davis stated that he took a knee because something got in his eye and he didn't want it to be seen. He also acknowledged that he was unaware of the possible repercussions, saying, "But I didn't know I could get disqualified for this." This admission has raised more questions over the outcome of the duel.
But I must say, do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that. Or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell?
Tensions between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach intensified on social media after their acrimonious fight, especially on Twitter. The fighters publicly debated the result of their first fight and the prospect of a rematch, keeping fans and commentators interested in the continuing story.
He forget that, let me take a knee. That's a knockdown. But either way, it looked like they may have an immediate rematch. Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis goes back and forth on X, and here's what they say. It seems to me that, okay, if the New York State Athletic Commission overturns the result of the fight, then yeah, it's an immediate rematch anyway. Like Lamont Roach said, he has it in the contract. But If it remains a draw, it looks like Tank's still going to push for the rematch. And I'm hearing that, the fight that they were going to have, which would delay this rematch, was a fight with Pitbull. You can argue that a rematch with Lamont Roach would be far bigger than a rematch with Pitbull. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz adult.
Numerous boxing analysts have examined the Davis-Roach fight and come to the conclusion that Lamont Roach appeared to have won at least 3 more rounds than Gervonta Davis, even excluding the contentious 9th round incident that was ruled a knockdown. This analysis has heightened calls for a rematch and sparked debate regarding the original ruling.
That's why I call it a cherry pick. And he got his ass kicked, in my opinion. I know people going to come for me, but I had him winning. I had him up at least 3 rounds. At least 3 rounds.
Not including the knockdown.
Yeah. It was, to me, if it would have been 116, 112, I'd have been okay with that.
So
in Roach's favor.
You let your psychology get to you too, huh?
Hey, I know what I was watching.
What did you have it after 4 rounds, Zatel?
4 rounds.
2-2.
I'm sorry, after 6. Why did I say 4?
4-2.
Because I had it 4-2.
4-2 Davis.
I had it 4-2 Davis. What did you have it after 6?
I had it 5-1 for Roach.
For Roach?
He said, I brought you on the show, now. That's why.
Listen,
At
that
the
first
end,
round,
I felt like
some of the
I had
didn't a
Roach
couple
winning.
judges
Don't
give
get
the
me
first
Yeah,
round
at
to
the end
Tank.
of 12, I had 7-5 Roach. But
Yeah, I had 7-5 Roach.
Say again?
Didn't some of the judges give the first round to Tank?
I think so. I think he might be right about that.
How? He landed 1 punch.
Yeah.
Roach landed 3 punches to his 1, and he was the aggressor. How did Tank win that round?
Yeah.
Because he's Tank, Naeem.
Boxing fans and commentators are increasingly of the opinion that Gervonta Davis might not face Lamont Roach again. Davis's history of avoiding difficult rematches, like as his choice to forego a second bout against Ryan Garcia and other strong opponents in the past, is the basis for this conjecture.
We got to talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at that like, I don't want her to braid my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all his receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.